Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at the Coruscant Guard Gunship. The set number 75354, rated 9 and up with 1,083 pieces. This set has a total of 5 minifigures for $140, which does seem a little bit low. Only 3 clone troopers, one of which is Commander Fox, 2 Coruscant Guard, and 2 named characters, Padme Amidala and Chancellor Palpatine. Here we can take a look at the back of the box, and there's literally nothing showing anything different because there's nothing to the set. Except for the interiors, there's no play features, only the cannons on each side, which is already inaccurate. And there's like nothing to the interior at all. But yeah, let's get into this review. First up, we have the 2 Coruscant Guard minifigures. And these two, of course, have the red printing. And they're very basic clone troopers, but they're very good clone troopers in my opinion. And yes, they do have the helmet holes. Personally, the helmet holes do not bother me. I barely even notice them, especially from head on. You can barely even tell. It's kind of nice that they have them, but it is also annoying. But they are in the correct spot because of Commander Wolf and Fox, sorry, and some of like the other ones that have to have the visors, which is accurate, weirdly enough. Next up, we have Chancellor Palpatine, and this is the first one we've gotten in probably over a decade. It's been a long time, but this minifigure, of course, has great red printing all around him, and of course has a great secondary face, which of course just looks amazing, and this is probably one of my favorite minifigures in the set, if not my favorite. Fourth up, we have Padme Amidala, and this is the one from the first, I believe, 2, 3, 4 seasons of the Clone Wars. And she is nothing crazy. It's reused parts, I think the only head is reused. The pants are reused, and I don't think the torso looks unique, but the head is definitely from a Black Widow minifigure. And the hair might be new, but I'm not 100% sure. And this is Commander Fox with the molded waist cape. Sorry, not the molded waist cape. This minifigure has a printed waist cape. When we add on, the front looks okay, but the sides and back look horrible. This is something that I hate to see in LEGO, and it's honestly lazy in my opinion. They did the same thing to Captain Rex. And if I ever get that minifigure, there's going to be a problem because I actually want a waist cape on all my minifigures that have waist capes. So I added this one from one of these. I got it from the Airborne Trooper from General Grievous Starfighter from 2020, and I added it on because this is the nicest one I had. Any grayish waist cape will do fine. I mean, these are kind of a pain to put on, but they work very well. Still, personally, I think the visor should have been black. I think it would have worked better, but still, it's a very good minifigure. The torso printing is a little faded, but it's honestly not that bad. I think people are making it worse to be out. Like, you can tell it matches the white on the bottom, but it's not going to be a perfect white. It's LEGO. It's only slightly pink. It's honestly not that bad. The helmet looks pretty good too. Again, of course, no exclusive face print, which is kind of annoying. But then again, the printing on this is very good, and it's probably one of my favorite clone minifigures I have in my collection, especially with that added waist cape. So here is the 2023 Coruscant Guard Gunship, and immediately this feels small. I have never had a gunship before, but I just know they aren't this small. I mean, this is my hand for reference. My hand is fairly decent sized. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's definitely, it feels small and weird in some areas, especially here. It's just not long enough. Definitely needs to go out more, but they would have benefited from even making it bigger so they could fit the double doors in, because they only have one, which is definitely inaccurate, but it's something that I don't hate. It just does not allow for full access to the space. You're missing about 4 studs of space in the back, which of course we can get to if we open up this ramp, but you're not fitting anything in there. It's not going to be easy. But to pull on the doors, you do have 2 handles here. You can pull one on either side. Sometimes the doors do get stuck, though. But the doors sometimes do get stuck. I've noticed that they can. The front ones do not hang on by much, and it's kind of a lazy design in my opinion, because it looks even unfinished. Like, these are just randomly put in there. And closing it, again, like you can tell, it does get stuck a lot. And it has this ugly gap to it when it does get stuck, and it's kind of a pain to fix. It took me a little bit to figure out how to. But then again, it's not too bad. And then, of course, we have the side ones that open up like so, and have absolutely nothing inside of them, which they should have, like a little back to tank or something, would definitely be nice. Literally just a small outpost with 10 pieces is accomplishable, and it would help the set personally a ton. But of course, that's not on there, and I wish you could add bubble turrets to this right here. That would be cool, but I don't know. But personally, what I think with this set is that they are going to make a few more of these, but not Coruscant Guard. They're going to make like a normal one, Enemyless Tenta Gunship. I don't know. Have like 2 more come out in the next like 2 years. Like every other year, they'll make a new gunship in this sort of scale. And then maybe one they'll have 1 door and the bubble turrets, or like mules, and just redesign it and retire them after every 2 years, which that's the dream scenario personally. The scale is not horrible for new gunships, but they just need to make more gunships. And seeing a gunship like this, which is only in 1 episode of the Clone Wars, is kind of sad to see. Like, just include a gunship that is more commonplace, and it wouldn't be a problem, in my opinion. But it's just a very strange set to me. But that doesn't mean it's not good. Some areas it is, but again, more flaws. The bubbles are hard to open, but you can also put the 2 minifigures in, which are not pilots, but apparently they were in the show for the shuttle, so I will give them a break for that. But there should have been 2 pilots in the set, personally, to even out that minifigure count. And we definitely need clone pilots, but they refuse to make them. That's how they look inside, and it's not too bad, personally. They do look a little out of place, but that's how it's going to work with the scale. And, of course, you have 2 little spots to put each of their weapons in the back, which totally fit, by the way. This isn't going to take me 5 minutes or anything whatsoever. Okay, I got both of them. It wasn't too easy, it wasn't too hard. The second was definitely easier, but then of course there's this little bubble turret at the back, which is cool. And then this weird inclusion to me, which I've always wondered what it was. It's literally just a shield piece. I just thought this was a very awkward inclusion to the set and just looks very weird. 2 more things about it that I have not yet mentioned is that there's no turrets here, which is inaccurate. And one last thing is the bubble turrets on the sides are not bubble turrets in this case. They are stud shooters, and I personally don't hate them, but they are not the best thing I've seen. I wish they could swivel. They're just not the best to me. If anything, I wish they could have had like I don't know, just something there besides this. It just doesn't work for me. And of course we have the 2 in the front that can turn a bunch, and the carrying handle, which is very hard to get a hold of. That's like, I have relatively normal sized hands for a guy, and it's kind of awkward to carry it, so I'm end up doing it with 1 finger, and it's not very practical whatsoever. Last thing about the set is that these panels like to move a ton, the glass ones, and they're not very ideal, but I'm just happy they got that part of it right. The doors are pretty in my opinion, but yeah. And then, of course, we can fit minifigures in the area, which we can try to fit some. I don't know how well it's going to go, but we'll try. So we can fit Padme Amidala, and we'll see how many we can fit comfortably in on one side of it. And you can probably fit the same on the other side of it. So Palpatine, Padme. We're going to have to really get Padme deep in there. It's really difficult, by the way. Cool. Well, she's in by a foot. And then Fox, which we can just shove in there. And again, it should not be this hard to get minifigures into a set like this. Like, it's actually kind of insane how hard it is to. Okay, there we go. We got 3 minifigures in, and oh wait. Padme doesn't work. You have to have them back that far. You can fit comfortably 2 minifigures on each side, which I think is ridiculous. But that is the gunship for you for 2023. I would just recommend spending the extra bit to buy an older one. Just buy one, and if you have the money, buy one of these and one older one. If you actually care about this set, I personally don't. I like the minifigures more than anything, but yeah. Thank you for watching this review. Sorry if it's so negative during it. It is just not a good set in my opinion, but it looks decent. It's okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again